Hey, my name is Joe,
And I'm Mary Beth.
and this is the best of Gen X.
We are in our 40s.
And we're siblings,
We'll talk about adulting in a world so different from the one we grew up in,
so excuse us while we save a generation.
one episode at a time.
Let's go.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Mary Beth.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not bad. We're recording this podcast via Zoom because you're out of town.
Yes.
Um, I'm feeling just really, I don't know, no motivation. I must be still on Aruba time, even though
Yeah.
it's
Even though
supposed
it's the same time.
even though we're in the same time.
Right.
I'm still in Aruba feels. I just didn't feel like doing much today, so maybe the Zoom thing is a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't usually hit me with I'm feeling lazy this morning on podcast day.
I know, I know. Well, we're gonna jump right in. Since we're on Zoom, uh,
Hmm.
Josh is gonna join us, and as I suspected, our dogs, because he's in here with me, are already
They're just
scratching on.
ready.
They're already scratching on the closet door to try to get in, and whining. So you might hear a little some background of the dogs. Oh
You
yeah,
said, and I
it's
don't
only
hear
going
anything now.
it's only going to get worse, so you will hear them soon. So
Damn
yeah,
dogs.
do what?
I said, damn dogs.
I know. Okay, so
Just freeloaders, that's all.
Just want a handout.
all right, so we just got back from Aruba and this trip had everything. It had great weather, great food, and at least one moment where I know I was questioning my life choices. Um, so let's get right into it. First of all, if anyone doesn't know, Aruba's in the Caribbean, just about 15
Yes.
miles um, to the east of Venezuela.
Yeah. Pretty near the equator, right?
Probably, I'd have to bust out a map.
It is.
I think I'm right. I think I'm correct.
Yeah, when we were down there, the sun told me that we were close to the equator. It especially told my forehead. Um, so we've talked on the show before about what inspired this trip. It started because of mom and dad's 50th wedding anniversary trip. They
Yeah.
wanted originally to go to Aruba. Not everybody was on board. We won't throw our sister under the bus and mention her name, but she was,
Let's throw her under the bus without throwing her under the bus, which we
yes,
just
I
just
just,
did.
yeah, I hope everyone got that. But Joe, you and I were on board from the beginning. And so
Yeah.
we decided that we were going to eventually make our way to Aruba, and we did. And so it was me and Josh, you and Navy.
Yes.
So,
Because Luke's a homebody and he wanted to stay home
yeah.
and hunt and do all the Luke things he does.
Yeah. And which is a real shame because this time he missed the Nile. He didn't get to see it.
That's,
Last
that's
time
right.
on our way to Seattle, he looked out the plane window and saw a big river and asked if that was a Nile. And I thought this is going to be a glorious trip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fantastic.
Um, so what were your first impressions, either of you? Josh, welcome.
Yeah, hello everybody.
Hey, Josh.
How you doing?
Um, yeah, I mentioned on our last episode that it was still kind of up in the air whether Josh would be able to go, and I told him the best thing to do is to ask your dad, which we knew he'd say yes because parents do that, and ask the doctors what they think about you going while your dad's in the hospital. And they did tell him to go. Um, so
So much has passed, but dad did pass away
yeah, and
Mhm.
we were in the airport in Aruba
on the way home.
getting ready to get on our flight home.
Yeah. In
So
line at Panda Express. That was
in line
kind of
at Panda Express was
unexpected and we were surrounded by strangers, and Josh had to finish his order with the lady asking what kind of rice he wanted. And I just
Yeah.
felt horrible. I was like,
Yeah.
and they don't know, and it's just like it was a horrible situation for Josh to be put in.
It
But
was. And so, needless to say, it's been a tough week. Um,
mhm.
Tough week home, but today we're just going to focus on this great trip.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah.
so what were your all's first impressions? I mean, I know what I thought coming out of the airport. First of all, I need a cigarette. Um, but the second thing I thought was, wow, it's
It
really
was
warm.
Fantasy Island. Like there's no other way to describe like I've never seen like or been near an ocean that was half as clear as this was.
Well, I mean, like
yeah,
when we first got there.
yeah. What like you get on the airport, and the airport wasn't. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I was. It kind of seemed like a janky kind of airport
Yeah.
Yeah.
walking through it. Almost like a temporary airport. It's kind of what it
Right,
felt like.
right, right.
You go through like temporary zones or like doing construction in like the main parts. It felt like we were going. The whole airport was like a construction temporary zone, if that makes sense. So it's kind
Yeah.
of yeah,
But when we
small.
stepped out, there was like a little, I don't even know if you call it a band because in the US there'd be guitars and drums,
Right, right.
but
Yeah.
this
Well, this
guy
is one
was,
of the first things I told you. I said, "Oh, this dude's playing the steel drums." So it's,
yeah,
you felt kind of like you were in Jamaica. Not that I've ever been to Jamaica, but that's what I assumed you would hear when you walk out of an airport in Jamaica
or in the
was some,
Caribbean.
or
Yeah.
in the Caribbean, some dude playing a
He
steel
was on
drum.
it too. He was
Yeah.
And I remember seeing, so like across, when you step out the front of the airport, directly across the street is just one long line of like car rental
Right.
places that were like super tiny, um but you could see big like just really tall palm trees. And the first thing that I noticed was obviously the music on, in one ear, and then the palm trees in the wind. Like
Yeah.
there were a few things that I learned before the trip from TikTok, and the wind was one thing I was warned about, and they were not kidding. Like Aruba's
Mhm.
windy all the time. So that was like the
Yeah. It's
first thing that
weird.
hit me. And
Hmm.
didn't you think that, okay, I thought that the ride, I was a little nervous, the ride to the resort, um, because it looked to me like kind of a third world country.
Yeah. We were all kind of looking at each other like, yeah, where are we at?
Where did we come?
Yeah. Is there some type of drug cartel that's going to hinder
there
our
was
ability
stuff
to
that was
get to the resort?
yeah, stuff that was boarded up and graffiti painted on like walls everywhere and
Yeah.
the roundabouts are not like the roundabouts here where you it looked like utter chaos on the road. That's what it looked
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
It's very true. It was like there was no road signs like stops or speed limits. It's kind of like it was.
yeah, no stop signs or stoplights even, just
Yeah.
roundabouts. And just on both sides of the van, I was waiting for beauty and I was just seeing like rundown things, closed up shops. But then,
Hmm.
30 seconds down the road, lots of construction, a lot of steel beams. And but anyway, once we made it to the resort, it was like I
Oh, okay. Here's the real play. Here's the real
Yeah.
part of
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
like this is what we came for.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I agree. It was a little sketchy, but I remember we jokingly looked at each other in the transport van or whatever. We were all like, Vicky, Dexter, what did you bring us to? What did you
Right.
Our friends Vicky and Dexter helped us I guess get motivated to choose Aruba because they were talking to mom and dad about it and they had been there. So I
They
remember we
go
kind of
like
jumped in.
every year.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's
they were
well
the
worth
ones.
the return trip too if anybody's deciding to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get there, but
Yeah. But yeah, I remember we jokingly were like, what did you get us into? Until we got to
yeah.
the resort.
I remember I had only seen, we talked about beforehand how we felt like we were very much winging it because we could even picture, what we were going to see. And while I'd been on the website, we stepped into the lobby and I didn't expect, like, it's actually open.
Hmm.
Right.
You're not
Right.
walking into like a hotel big lobby.
Right.
It's
Right.
just open.
Hmm.
And
Right. Exactly.
so the ocean is on one side of you and you're going up to the front desk to check in, and there's a bar right there. Things are already hopping, and we're
Yeah.
waiting in line for check-in, and you can just feel the strong breeze, and the weather was amazing. Like when we got
Yeah.
there, we were early March. I'd say about 80 to 85 degrees every day.
Yeah. Yeah, it
And
was
it
steady
was,
at 80.
And very little rain too. Like if it rained there for 10 minutes, 15 minutes at
I
the
don't
Oh
even
most,
yeah.
think we had a full
if
If
rain.
that, yeah.
if it
Yeah, a
rained
couple
that
of times
much,
we met to go to the beach, I felt a couple little teeny,
Yeah.
almost like, is it rain? It was like so little. You were like, is that rain?
Yeah, you
Like
can tell.
it
So
wasn't obvious enough,
it
but
was like barely sprinkles, but
hmm
then it would
yeah,
pass. But
I will tell you, I really, really liked that open concept of the resort when you walk. I really liked that part.
I
I
did
thought that
too.
was really, really, really neat.
I did
I
too.
thought it
And
was
it
really, really
felt
neat.
so comfortable. And the way that they set it up structurally, it let the ocean breeze just pass right through, and it was just so comfortable.
made you feel
Right.
welcome. Like, come
Um,
on
Yeah,
in.
exactly. Exactly.
and and you got the island vibe right away because of that open concept. And then with the bar being right over to our right of the check-in desk, and everybody's already partying up. It was about 2:30, I guess, 3 o'clock by the
Yeah.
time we
Yeah.
got there and checked in. And right away we met friendly people in line with us that will play a bigger role as we talk about
Yeah,
the
for sure.
trip.
Yeah,
But
we met a cool married couple with small kids that were actually living in Indianapolis close to us. So that was cool.
shout out to
Yeah.
Sandy.
Shout
Hmm
out to Sandy. Can't remember his wife's name, but they were really cool people.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
and and then we met Christina in front of us.
yeah.
We still doubt if her name is Christina.
Or Lisa.
At
It
one
could have
point
been Lisa, I
at
thought
one
too.
point she said her name was Lisa. Um, she was super sketch in the most fun way
Yeah.
that we just kind of like she was a magnet. We were magnets. So everywhere we went, she was there, and we decided um like when we checked in and got into our rooms and then came back to the bar, we had our bracelet on, we were ready for the all-inclusive experience, and there she was taking green tea shots. And we're not talking about this isn't actual green tea. This was, do you remember what was in it?
Yes.
Josh probably does. I don't remember.
It is Jameson, lemonade, and sweet and sour mix.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I was almost hesitant to tell people it was green tea shots because of what they would think of it, but it was like fruity. It tasted fruity. You remember it kind of had like a fruity taste to it. Must have been the
Yeah.
lemonade part. But
So we started drinking, and then we had a reservation that was made for us as a courtesy to Club Margot, which was just right there by the bar, one of the restaurants, one of the all-inclusive restaurants. And so we invited Christina to have dinner with us. She and her friend Ebony.
yeah, it's like come on down, just
Yeah.
join us.
So we got started drinking right away,
Mm.
and
Oh, remember what we said when we were checking in? Remember what I think I said? I can't remember, but we were all laughing. I think we were all, it kind of, we paused and it got quiet for a second. I go, give me all the free stuff. Where's all the free stuff? Because
Right.
we had never done the all inclusive before. So I jokingly was like, where's all the free stuff? Give it to me. Yeah, that
yeah,
was fun.
I really like so I really liked the fact that it was hot but not humid. I expected it to be really
Right.
humid, but it wasn't humid at all to me that whole
Mhm.
week. And um so yeah, there we are, just trying every tropical drink that's on the menu and trying to get to know wanted in four states Christina slash Lisa, as shady as she was being,
Right.
and just having a good time. And so right off the bat, I think the island gave us a welcome, have fun, time to party
Yeah. Yeah,
kind of
for sure.
feel.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. We were ready. We were ready. We were
What
ready to take advantage of all the,
what were some of your all's best moments?
uh, Josh,
It's
you have,
man, like
I know mine.
I mean, the dinners that we got to, experience,
Mhm.
even though the inclusive portion was mostly mainly at the bar area, they had great food. Margot was pretty good. It could have been better. You could have Margot was like a luxurious appetizer place. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you didn't really get like an entree dinner with that too. And I'm a foodie. That's why I'm
Right,
only,
right.
so it was great. It was good, but there could have been more substance to that effect with Margot. But
Yeah,
So,
it wasn't very filling, but
okay, I'll get to my best moments.
Best moments though.
Um, my favorite like thing to do on that trip. First of all, I surprisingly did enjoy our morning workouts. They have a
Yeah.
really great gym, and so Joe motivated us to work out. So we worked out every morning
yeah,
first.
I'm glad you all did that. That was fun to do together.
Yeah, and I guess leading up to the trip, the week leading up, I was kind of lax on my workout. So I'm glad I stuck with that because I didn't want to just be lazy all week and gorge myself on
Right.
sugary tropical drinks and lots of food. So I did enjoy the morning workouts. I thought the view, because we had the panoramic view
Oh
of
yeah,
the
and you can see
beach.
the other river down the way, so it just kind of had the cool view. It was definitely better than any hotel gym I'd ever seen. It was like a full gym,
Yeah,
basically.
it really was. And then, so I would have to say, favorite thing to do was swimming in the ocean. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, that
while it
was
was
really good.
the water was freezing cold as
When
you
you
step
first got,
in,
yeah,
but once you got all the way in,
and
it
used to it.
felt so good against the hot sun, and
Hmm.
the boats that would frequently pass by would give us the perfect waves. And I'm telling you, like I think it's the Black Sea where you can literally just float because there's so much salt in the water
Right.
that you
Right.
I felt like this was the same. I just floated on my back and you didn't need a raft. I just stayed afloat and the water was amazing. And
So
I
beautiful.
said beforehand, the one thing I was really looking forward to was actually swimming like you're in a swimming pool in an ocean that's clear with white sandy beaches, and
Yeah.
that's what I got. So that was my favorite thing to do when we were there.
You swim out farther than like I've ever seen you in the ocean, like
Yeah,
Oh
ever.
yeah. Yeah. No shade to Florida, but you can't see like it's the water's a little bit almost black compared to Aruba. It's crazy.
Right.
yeah, you
You
can't
know.
see anything. You're taking a huge risk.
Right.
So I really, I really enjoyed being able to see what was coming, if
Yeah.
anything.
You remember what Navy said when we first went to the beach that first day? She goes, Dad, the water looks like Gatorade.
Yeah.
It did. Now, the water, that was something that exceeded my expectations was the water itself. Like Josh mentioned, I mean, flying over the Caribbean was really fascinating. It was a spectacular view of any
Right.
flying experience I've had because I could already tell that the water had a different color, and the water and cloud mix looked like an acrylic painting of just swirls of white and blues.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so
Yeah.
the water, when you're there, it looked turquoise.
It did.
It did, and it was beautiful.
That really
So
exceeded my expectations.
yeah, mine too. That was probably one of my favorite parts, honestly. And you'd think that would be something so simple, but the water itself was like one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, and so like we kept saying as we have on our trips, the podcast is writing
Right,
itself.
it's safe.
I want to talk about some of the like funnier things or unexpected things that ended up happening. So like I mentioned that we're all getting started after check-in. We're getting started with the tips. We're ready to be drunk for the money that we paid, you know?
That's right. Hmm.
And so we all got pretty darn tipsy that first night. And as the sun was setting, I decided I was going to swim
I know.
in
I
the
was very
ocean.
shocked. It was very not
At
Mary Beth.
night.
Very not
At
me.
night.
And look, as I say that, I say at night out loud because I don't know if you know this, but my wife loves watching like shark documentaries, and Shark Week is a thing. And, it is for everybody, but like she takes it to another level.
I
Oh yeah.
love
And sharks come out at night. I'm
yeah,
trying to remind her
I
of that,
will.
but that wasn't happening.
100%.
She's getting in the ocean.
at
I was
dawn,
surprised.
at dawn and at dusk. That's when you're going to get attacked. So, um, but it was
You give
basically,
her a few, let's go.
yeah,
Right, right, yeah.
alcohol, you actually don't care. In fact, I remember thinking now this is a little this wasn't for the experience I'm talking about right now, but the swimming that I did on days that we laid out, which was practically every day. So that swimming, I remember floating on my back and being pretty far out there and thinking to myself, honestly, if this is what the moment before you get eaten by a shark feels like, I think that'd be a good way to
Yeah.
go. Like,
Let's do it.
I swear to God, I did not tell anyone I had that thought, but I was out there floating on my back, letting the waves sweep me away. It was so gentle and so soothing, and so it felt so wonderful on my skin. And I thought to myself, yeah, if a shark were to come up and snatch me right now, I think this is I think this is how I'd want to feel right before death.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I think I'd be able
I
to.
was proud of you for doing that.
Yeah, thanks. Well, so my drunken swim, I was like Chrissy in Jaws. Where are you going? Swimming! Because it was at dawn and
Hmm.
or no, dusk.
Dusk.
It was at dusk.
That's
And
yeah.
so I'm way tipsy. I get my one piece on because I'm tipsy enough to know that I can't keep the girls in my bikini. So I get my one piece
Uh-huh.
on for like athletic turbo swimming. And thank
Mhm.
goodness Josh was holding his liquor better than I was because he went out there with me just to hold me up because
Right.
walking in the sand, it was not even,
Hmm.
which is like on flat beaches of Florida, you're used to just stepping in gradually and you're not being swept
Right.
away. Okay, in Aruba, the sand is very uneven. So once you're ankle deep, you don't know what you're going to step, like how
And he
deep
could
it's
Right.
going
take a
to
step and it'd be like 2 or 3 feet deeper than
be.
what, and she's like, "Oh."
So try that
Really?
drunk. So I don't know,
It
like,
was impressive, ladies.
so I'm like, I'm swimming in the ocean drunk. And Josh has to keep pulling my arms up because I'm like just getting thrashed around. Um,
And the current was picking up too. Like,
yeah.
the
Right.
waves, it's it's the tide's coming in,
So
and
yeah.
you're
Right.
thinking, this is this a good decision for us right now?
Right.
I mean,
So tipsy first night, drunken swim was probably one of my
That's cool.
highlights. Um,
Yeah, I think I stayed at the bar area because it closed at like 1 a.m. I think I stayed there till 10:30, 11, Josh, something like that.
yeah, that
yeah.
I think the first night or two. So we were there, what, 5 nights, 6 days?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 nights. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think the first 2 nights, you guys were the late nighters.
I said, let's clarify that because late night for us is like maybe 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
11
It wasn't
o'clock,
crazy.
11
It
thirty
wasn't
was about the
crazy.
latest we'd stayed out.
Yeah. We never stayed until closing of the
Right, man. We
bar.
didn't we didn't we didn't shut the bar down or anything like that, but
Uh-uh.
we stayed up
But we
for
did, we did, we did it right. We had a good time.
right, right.
I
Yeah.
love where our room was located because we did get an oceanfront room. We didn't get a
Uh-huh.
beach access. I learned, here's one of the things I learned. Oceanfront does not mean beach access.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the rocks. It was beautiful to sit on the
Hmm.
All the little shells that was on there too. There may or may not be
Hmm.
an extra shell here in the house. Wink, nod.
Yeah.
yeah, on our
Uh,
bookcase.
um,
We
uh,
Josh found a coral, like a piece of coral that was like in the shape of a V, and we decided it stood for my vagina and that we had to take it home and put it on the bookcase as a
Yeah.
trophy.
and it's there.
Yeah.
Actually,
Because we're
And it's
all,
there currently today.
we turn it upside down. It looks like an A for Aruba,
Yeah.
but
there you go. There you go.
that's that's not us. We turned it
I
back to B.
was
Turn
going
it
to
back
say
to me.
we're
V for
silly,
victory.
we're silly and stupid and immature, and of course we had to make it about that.
Of
The other
Yeah.
course we
thing.
did. Of course we
Yeah.
did.
Um,
Yeah.
so some unexpected things. Obviously, I talked about meeting Christina in line in front of us to check in. She was fun, and we've decided now. No, she joked. She was like, "Yeah, because we all look alike because she's black." Um, but we were like, "No, we're being dead serious.
Hmm.
You could be Joe Johnson's sister."
John Johnson's sister. Yeah. We were
They
sure of it.
they didn't just have the same exact smile, the same mouth. They had the same personality,
Yeah,
It's
same
crazy.
sense of
it's pretty cool.
humor. We were like, no, no, we understand. Yes, you all look the same to us. Sure, okay, fine. But you are Joe Johnson's sister from another life. Um, so I think that's why we hit it off so well with her.
Yeah. It was like Joe was there with us, sort of.
Yeah, yeah. So we had a great time just hanging out with her, and I didn't I expected to be somewhat social just because of
Uh-huh.
the type of resort it was, but I didn't expect to meet someone and like invite them to dinner with us and just like
Hit it off.
hit it off and have a good
Right.
time. And
Yeah. Yeah. It was one of those things where because everybody was kind of like confined to that little space and all inclusive, it's like you just kept seeing the same people the whole trip too. Like I was seeing the same couples and the same people walking around and hanging at the bar. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Uh, so it's like point of that is, you would see her and her friend, and then we would see like this group of two people. We met that Corey guy. And you just kept seeing him over and over and over. Everybody saw everybody this the whole week and hung out. It was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I
Corey
like
was
that
cool
part of
too,
it.
man. Like he spoke with him a little bit too about what he does for a living too, and
Yeah,
he's a big outdoorsman. He owns an outfitter out
yeah,
near Maryland, I think, and
yeah.
he was. Just got
I believe he was one of the many people that Josh, you showed your ID to. How many times did Josh show his driver's
oh,
license to people?
but dude, there was so many Buffalo fans there.
Yeah, there's a lot of Buffalo Bills fans there.
Bill's
Like,
Mafia was in Aruba then the same week we were in Aruba. Like I bet
yeah.
you I had seen like over 10, 15 people with like Bill's Mafia, Bill's hats, Bill's
Oh
shirts,
yeah.
Josh
Even at
Allen,
the airport,
Josh
if I
Allen
didn't see them
shirts.
at all inclusive, I saw the Buffalo stuff at the airports and stuff. It's
And they
crazy.
I said, "Hi, my name's Josh Allen." They're like, "Get out of here."
Yeah, I was like,
No,
you'll
here,
never
let me
believe
show
what my
you.
brother-in-law's name is. I kept saying, I said that like 5 times on the trip. You'll never believe what my brother-in-law's name is. What?
Yeah,
What's
at
your
one
name?
point they had, okay, so they had right by the bar was the huge swimming pool and then lawn chairs everywhere where you could either face the pool or turn around and face the ocean. So we were
Right.
right there on the ocean. And then next to the pool was like a 3 foot pool, but it had like rafts built into the water. So you could just
Right.
Lounge.
chill out there and lounge. And
Yeah.
again, this was just by the bar. This was just by the restaurants, the buffet where you got breakfast and lunch, just by Club Margot. So it's all in one little clump. And I
Right.
remember being in that little, I want to call it a wading pool, but it was not a wading pool. But I remember sitting there and seeing Josh across the way at the bar. I'm like, he's showing his ID again. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. They didn't believe me. I'm like, no, seriously. I'm like, man, that's my side hustle. Okay. Like, you know, people got to eat, right?
Another
That's
thing
right.
Another thing I really liked was the fact that not only were all the restaurants and the bar and the pool all there together, right? I mean, just feet from our room, but also
Mhm.
um, just a little clump of gift shops, and these were nice gift shops
Right. Yeah.
uh, right there. And so if you needed something, if you needed to get extra sunblock or whatever, so it was just
Mm,
nice. I think the location, like we said, we didn't know what to picture, but I love that everything was just right there, and we didn't really
Yeah,
have
me
a
too.
need to leave if we didn't want to.
Yeah, they even had like a little coffee shop, and it's still so strange to go to a coffee shop and not be any prices on anything. You just
right.
order it
It's
and
like
go
here.
take it and
Yeah,
go.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't have
So-
was mocha for my boo.
I
Like that
cannot
Oh
believe.
yeah,
shocking.
Okay, so don't go to Aruba if you don't want if you have to have mocha, you can't find mocha
yeah.
anywhere.
Tough noogies. You won't get it there.
And if you're addicted to Diet Coke, you're in trouble because all they have is Coke Zero, which I think is
You-
gross.
Sugar
Yeah,
free
when
Coke
you
Zero
order,
though.
yeah,
Or
when I ordered Diet Coke, they would give you Coke Zero. It wasn't like you had an option.
right. The
And
aloe place is pretty cool though. Like it was a very smart idea to have that aloe place there in the middle of the
Yeah,
hallway.
oh, maybe used it for sure. She
Yeah,
started getting a little sun
free
poison stuff.
samples and
yeah, Josh and I
Hmm.
went in there and we spent a pretty penny on some of Aruba's aloe. Um, and so I really like that we got like this burn relief, we got
Hmm.
some
it
face
worked.
relief, and it was really great. But anyway, um, I want to talk about our best meal. I have to say our best, we would have breakfast after our workout in the buffet. So there's a buffet.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's open until 3 p.m., so it switches from breakfast to lunch. You could eat there. But the restaurants, you had to make reservations. We managed to finagle our way on the last night to Paparazzi, which was right there by the bar.
Yeah.
And that was an Italian place. I don't know about you guys, my favorite.
Yeah, that was my favorite too.
Hands down, the
Yeah.
food
It's hard to
was.
top that one.
Yeah.
And
Hard to top that one.
Joe, tell us what you ordered because you were having a tough time deciding.
What did I order? So they had oh gosh, Josh helped me out.
It was the lasagna and the pork loin or the tenderloin.
It was 100%. Yeah, it was the lasagna and was it pork tenderloin or beef? I don't
Beef
remember.
Beef
Anyway,
tenderloin.
tenderloin. I think it was beef
yeah,
tenderloin.
big tenderloin. So because we're not used to all inclusive, I'm just like I'm torn. I'm one of those things where I'm like, please everybody else order first so I can have more time to order to think about what I want. And he gets to me and I'm like, oh God, so much pressure. And then I go, hey, wait a minute, I'll just order both. It's all
Right.
inclusive. I'll just order both.
Yeah, that's
And
what the
because
waiter said.
yeah, he said that and I agreed with him. Yeah, you're right. And
So
then because Josh,
I was going to
what?
say you can't. That was the last night, and we still weren't quite used to the all-inclusive thing.
Right.
Right,
The
exactly,
waiter goes,
exactly.
the waiter was like, just order both.
Right.
Never thought of that until that
He was like,
night.
yeah.
So,
I
and
got
because
the,
Josh is a human garbage
Man, dude, okay.
disposal,
If he couldn't finish it, I was gonna finish it. You
I
I
know,
was
like,
like,
got
we'll get this thing finished for sure.
yeah,
the
let's make it
chicken
happen.
parm
Yeah.
was amazing, and Joe, you
It
and I
was.
had. I think probably the best espresso martinis we've ever had.
Oh, easily, easily,
Oh, good.
so
They were
good.
better than Margot's. Uh,
Now, Club Margaux had pretty good espresso
they were
martinis.
good, but the ones with paparazzi was
Yeah, paparazzi was better.
Well,
it's
speaking
was
of our first dinner at Club Margaux, I wanted to ask you guys the weirdest thing you tried on the trip. Josh, I know that you had escargot.
Tuna.
I did. I did. That's the second time in my entire like lifetime I've ever had escargot. For people who do not know what escargot is, it is snails, and
Snails.
they are sautéed in like a bunch of drawn garlic butter, and
Yeah,
I like it.
I
I
liked it.
like it.
I was proud of you, Joe, because okay, so Club Margaux, it's the dinner is it's not like a typical dinner menu. It's basically they give you everything that they make
To try, yeah.
to try. So you get this table long spread of appetizers, which, we knew once they explained that to us that we were going to have to eat somewhere afterward because we
Yeah,
had we had Christina and Ebony joining us, and we of course had Josh, who could have eaten it all by
right,
himself.
Yeah, that was like
right,
a meal for me.
Yeah,
right.
but
You're right.
One meal.
they had a spread of all kinds of things like sausage, like deep fried sausage rolls, and they had these incredible meatballs. They had
Spare ribs.
spare ribs and some potatoes. But I was really proud of you, Joe, for trying something that I had tried years ago just at Kanzai locally and
Hmm.
hadn't had it since, but I really liked it. So this was called tuna tataki. And forgive
Yeah,
me if I'm not saying that correctly, but it was tuna that was super lightly seared, almost raw, with passion fruit dressing and coriander emulsion. And so I was like, Joe, you've got to try this piece of tuna. And I don't know how you felt about it. You were kind of like, meh, I could take it or leave it. I thought it was delicious. That was probably the
yeah.
weirdest.
I wasn't like super excited about it, but I tried it, and it's not something that's usually my jam. So I was proud of myself for trying it.
What I said was, you think, I don't know, I watch a lot of wildlife documentaries, and you think that just like raw fish or something is going to be like chewy and stuff. No,
Yeah,
tuna like melts in your mouth like butter. And
yeah.
I said it's good to know that if you're stranded in the ocean on a raft waiting to be rescued, that you could just like grab a tuna with your bare hands,
Rub two
run
sticks
grab it,
together, and voila!
and
Yeah,
rip
I
it
mean, it
open.
wasn't horrible. Yeah, it wasn't horrible, but not
I
something I'm
really
really
I
liked
can't
it.
wait to see my
yeah.
wife do that with a tuna.
Right. I'm not
Just
gonna
gonna say
crawl
that
over
right
broken
now,
glass to eat it again.
for the
You're
record.
you're what?
I said I'm not gonna crawl over broken glass to eat it again, but you know what I'm saying.
All right, there go our dogs barking, so that means our daughter is stirring. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. That's the life of a 20-year-old, almost 21. Um, she's got to get ready for work. But okay, so before we go to break, uh, do you think that the all-inclusive part was worth it?
Yes, and mostly because and this probably ties into the expectation versus reality. I had no idea until we got there that the neighboring resort next to it called Divi or Divi, however you pronounce that. I didn't know we could use both. So in my opinion, for the price and for what you like have access to, I liked it. I mean, I like the fact that you could use the other one if you just kind of like not that you're tired of where you're at, but if you wanted just something different or different vibe, you could go a two minute golf cart ride to this other one that's neighboring, but
Hmm.
you have the full all inclusive access just like if we were at Tamarind at the one we stayed at. So I did like that part.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about going to Aruba, we stayed at the Tamarin and DV Resort, and it's a joint. So every like 3 minutes, there is a large golf cart
That
that
shuttles you back and forth.
shuttles you back and forth. So any time of day, you just stand out in the lobby and you'll get a golf cart and they'll take you to DV. And it's a very super short. You could walk there, but if you
Good,
don't
yeah.
want to walk, the golf cart takes
But
you.
yeah,
So
but if you're
we had,
super lazy like us, take the golf cart.
Of course.
yeah. So
And they play great music on those golf carts
we had
too.
Yeah.
access to both resorts. Also, while we're talking about the golf carts, we've got to give a shout out to, oh, did we even get his name? He was jamming on the Milli Vanilli
No, we
loudspeaker
didn't. We didn't get his name, but he was cool. Every time we'd see him drive by, even if we weren't hopping on, we'd wave at him or
and
say
say,
something to him.
blame it on the
He
rain.
would just raise them hands up and just you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah. He appreciated it. It was good.
But
That
we
was
we
cool.
heard some Milli Vanilli jams that we had not listened to in probably decades. but it just brought
Hmm.
us back. It was a very Gen X kind of moment on
Oh,
that trip.
Hmm.
oh, oh, I love
Well,
you.
and then
I
the
mean,
random strangers riding with us were laughing because we were being silly, and then I said the word ass, and this little girl was behind me with her parents. She started laughing, and I was like, "Oh God,
Oh
sorry."
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
forgot
the
about
mom,
that
what
one.
did the mom say?
she was
She
nice.
said
She heard.
we say booty or something like that. She goes, we say, but she was laughing about it. I was like, my bad, sorry.
Super fun. Yeah, and they didn't care how drunk you were, so we were being loud and
No, it was
obnoxious.
expected.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
it was almost a prerequisite to get on the golf
Yeah.
cart. You
Yeah,
must be this drunk to get on.
right,
Like
exactly.
the height
So I did,
requirements.
yes, yeah. So I did think it was, yeah. So I did think it was worth it just because I felt like you had a 2 for 1, like you had access to both. I really liked that part. So
One more thing I'll say before break. Okay, so I wanted to point out some travel chaos. My hot take from before, from our last episode, still stands. Atlanta, you still suck, only you suck worse than you did before. Josh and
yeah,
I, okay, so we got a Delta notification that said our flight to Louisville from Atlanta was delayed by like an hour. So
yeah.
that gave us about a 2 hour layover, right? Plenty of time. If you have TSA pre-check, that's plenty of time to go have a cigarette and come back in real quickly.
Not
No,
Atlanta.
Normally, not
yeah,
in Atlanta for some reason. Okay, so we know that the TSA thing's going on right now that's making it worse, but this was
right,
just before it started.
right.
Um, so w- I go out to have two cigarettes. I mean, we get in line, the TSA pre-check line, and right after we get in that line, they shut it down and they start directing people elsewhere to the normal line.
And then they updated our
Mhm.
flight. They updated the
This,
flight,
yeah,
and
that's the worst
that was the
part.
far. I was in there. We're gonna miss our
I've
flight.
never had, by the way, I've never had that happen in all of my
We
travel
haven't
history.
either.
Too,
I mean, we haven't either.
too. Okay.
Yeah.
I, I, the guy in line, because I was complaining, was trying to blame it on me. He was like, blame yourself.
Yeah,
Because he was like,
he
he,
got all up on her face,
he
dude.
goes,
You did it.
Oh,
no. I
jeez.
said,
You
okay,
did
okay.
it.
He was like, why did you leave? You were already, you didn't have to go past security. I said, I wanted to have a cigarette. He goes, blame yourself. And I,
Oh,
oh,
jeez.
to be fair, he needed to let off some steam because he was 4'3". Um, but long story short, we're gonna go to break.
And we'll come back and
We
revisit the
we
statement.
almost missed our flight home. Literally,
You
I
did.
watched that story.
in the movies, running, almost
Yeah.
missed it. Okay,
I told Maybe when we sat down, I said, they're going to miss this flight. They're not
yeah,
getting to Louisville tonight.
but
Like, I
we
was
made
for
it.
sure
We'll
that you
come
made
back
it.
after a minute.
Okay. Hey, listeners, do you like judging people as much as we do?
Then judge us.
To submit your criticisms and complaints about our show, you can reach us at go to hell at bazinga.biz.
For all other comments, questions, or suggestions about future episodes, drop us a line. Send us a text from our website at thebestofgenx.buzzsprout.com and click on the link just above the show notes.
Or email us at thebestofgenx@gmail.com.
All right, we're back. Yeah, so just to say that we did make our flight, obviously. It almost didn't happen. I wanted to kick that little dude's ass. Um, he-
On top of the fact that, she's telling me, like, go, go, go. I run.
he's running ahead of me.
I'm a football field or two ahead of her. And I'm like, I
Oh,
turn around
wow.
waiting on her. I'm
And
like,
I'm going, go, go, go. And I'm in flip-flops running through the damn airport. And we go up an escalator and we're weaving through people. I said, sorry, we're gonna miss our flight. We're
Yeah.
gonna miss
And I
our
mean, I'm sure looking graceful as hell too. I mean, just
looking
graceful
so
as hell.
graceful.
it's cool.
Listen, it was one of those things where we got to the top of the escalator and literally turned the corner. There was our gate. And I said, we did it. And we're like bent over, catching our breath. And I'm going, holy shit, holy shit. And so
Those workouts really helped.
we
You're welcome.
we made it, but for the record, let everyone remember my hot take from last episode. It still stands. Atlanta, you suck.
Well, real
But
quick, because I know we have to move on, but I think your saving grace was I talked to the flight attendant and I told her, I was like, my sister went out to smoke. I think they're running here. So can we wait? Is that possible? She goes, well, I think we have about 10 or 12 people that we're waiting on that were stuck in a similar line. So I think that was your saving grace.
yeah, it was. Um, okay, so I do have a country update.
Okay, let's hear it.
Now you have thought for the last few episodes that we're in 69 countries. We are now.
You said
Welcome.
69. Okay. Now I
Welcome
can be truthful when it says
Dominican
Domin-
Republic.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's
Welcome.
exciting.
So
That's
we're finally
exciting.
finally in 69. We broke 68.
In the DR. Okay.
In
Right.
the DR.
Hey, you know what time it is?
It's
Hot
Hot
take.
takes. All
Ready
right.
for a hot take. Joe, would you
Right.
like to go first?
Sure. This one really hits home to me. Just gonna throw that out there. Peaceful relationships feel boring to people used to chaos.
Thank you.
What do you think about that?
I think I've been saying that for years. Right there with you.
I
I know
said
Josh.
I said if that's the kind of stuff you're used to, then boring seems welcoming.
Right.
Bring on boring if that's what boring is.
I love boring. And speaking of, I'll give my hot take.
Okay. Speaking of,
Skydiving does not make you adventurous. It makes you desperate. Let me let me
Explain.
explain.
let me explain. Okay.
Look, if if you're if you're so bored with your life that you have to jump out of a plane from 10,000, 15,
35,000.
no, not that. Come
Do
on.
they go up there high?
No, they don't go that
Yes.
high.
They go there.
Okay. But tens of thousands of feet out of an airplane, pummeling to the ground to a possible death, that means you are not living your best life. It means that, like I can lay in my bed at 9 p.m. with my beloved husband and my two fur babies and feel like I have lived a good day because these are my favorite creatures. They're right here with me. They're adorable to look at. And I'm just like, if you have to jump out of an airplane to make your life exciting,
There's
then
something missing.
there's something missing in your life. So, yeah,
Well,
that's my hot
I
take.
have a hot take about your hot take.
Okay.
Um,
Bring it. Bring it.
you have that as you live in your best life. Maybe somebody who likes skydiving as much as I like skydiving, maybe they're going for their best death.
Josh,
That's
have
my
you
hot
been?
take. That's a
Josh, have you
death
been?
worthy of a fall.
Joshua Dale, have you been?
I have not. I have
No.
not. It's been on it. Look, it's kind of been on my radar, but like as you get a little older, you tend to not, trust. Like you hear horror stories all the time. They went out and the shoe didn't come out.
Right. Shooting come out of that one dude get like hooked onto the side. He was like dangling off to the side.
I'm over
Fun
here
story.
going, maybe not so much now.
Fun story. Um,
Stop.
when we started dating 11 years ago, that was one of the things that he talked about being a list item was skydiving.
Yeah.
A few years into our relationship, I decide I'm going to look into this for a birthday present because I know
Mhm.
he really wants to do this. I get the information, I know where we need to go, I know how it works. I present it to him, and suddenly when it becomes kind of real, he starts rethinking all of his life choices. He's like, I think I want to live. Meh. So I said, I remember at the time being like, okay, let the record show. I did try to make this happen for you. We just decided maybe we don't want to jump out of an airplane.
I would rather spend my money on a trip to Aruba. How
Right.
about that?
Yeah. Josh, like, I'm gonna go with living. I'm gonna live. Go with
Okay.
living.
We made the mistake of letting our dogs in and now they're
No
wrestling.
wrestling.
So
Yeah.
just one of the
No worries.
fine points of a Zoom recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never entertained that, but you always have the fun hot takes. Mine seem boring compared to yours.
Well, I just thought,
Yours are always very funny or thought provoking.
that's my brain. Hey, Joe,
Oh, so
autism.
yeah, there you go.
Moving on.
Autism.
We're just adjacent, bro. We're just adjacent.
We're just adjacent. We're autistic by association.
That's right.
Okay, so let's talk about we talked about the things that we did, which wasn't much. We worked out, we laid out, we swam in the ocean, we ate a lot of food, we drank a lot of drink. Um, but we didn't really find a lot of reason to do much outside the resort, which I'm fine with. But we did go one evening off campus
Yep.
and we went to see the historic district of the colorful buildings, the Dutch
Mhm.
inspired architecture, and we did have dinner at this place called El Patio.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah. That's the Mexican place by the
Yes.
Yes.
casino. Yeah,
Yes.
that was really cool. And they had some cool shops right next to it too.
Yeah, so we enjoyed that. We just stepping out because we didn't want to walk away from Aruba having not seen the downtown of, remember how to say it? Orionstad.
Orionstad,
Orionstad.
yeah,
That's what
which
our
means
driver,
which folks means Orange City.
yes. And that's what our cab driver told us. That's how you say it, Orionstad.
Yeah,
Uh,
I love the big flamingo statues. That was really pretty. That was
oh,
cool.
one of my favorite picture experiences. So Navy took a picture of me and Josh under the arch of these massive flamingo statues posing like the flamingos. And so I'm gonna have to frame that and put it up on our wall.
Yeah.
So I
And
did
watching
enjoy
watching you guys do that was so Mary Beth and Josh, by the way. You guys were so organized and detailed. Like, wait a minute, you have to actually be sitting on top of my like your chin has to be on top of my head. You guys were very calculated with your picture.
it.
I would just like
Hey,
winged it. You guys were like very
I just do what
calculated.
I'm told.
Yeah.
I just do
That's
what I'm
right.
told.
That's right.
Oh, come now.
But
Listen to you.
All right.
Okay, so things we loved, other things we loved. I really loved the service vibe. They were about like for everybody from the bartender to the concierge to the servers at the restaurants, they were all about they know why you're here, they know how much you paid, and they're about making this the best experience they could possibly make it for you. Did you get that?
Yeah, I heard several times. There was one time Josh and I were out there by ourselves. I don't remember what you were doing, but like one of the servers came and gave us a drink. And we said we would get up and get something. I don't remember, like to try to like ease their work or whatever. And they made this like two or three people made this specific comment. No, 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 no. You relax. Like they would tell you, like, no, no, sit down. Like
Yeah.
be on
Staunchy, and
vacation.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
a
like be
couple
on
of them did.
vacation. I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like to your point, that was showing how much service means to them, and
and
they
they were
know where
good
they're.
people, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Real good people. Real cool
yeah.
to talk to. Laid back.
Yeah, and then you like, the tipping culture there is, you hear different stories, a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. You don't have to do it every drink or whatever. But every once in a while, me or Josh would spot them at 10 or 20 and say, just keep them coming. Like, don't make me
Yeah.
wait. Like
Right,
if I
right.
if I if I show you my finger, just bring it on. Like keep bringing them. Like
Yeah, we
basically.
were worried about how to handle that, but I think
Yeah.
you guys found the sweet spot where you just
Yeah.
like give them a 10 or 20 and you just say keep them coming and that
Yeah.
they seem to really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, they love that. So
The bar food was one of my favorite things, just right there by the
surprisingly good.
pool.
Surprisingly
It's
good.
really good, like a perfectly cooked thin crust pepperoni pizza, the best tuna on
Hmm.
French bread I've ever had.
Club
They had a
sandwich.
good clubs. Club sandwich was
Oh,
good.
that's good.
Delicious. And the drinks, Joe, your favorite drink was became
Oh, and it became my favorite, but only after like day two. I think I didn't stumble upon it till like day two, and then after that, that's like all I ordered. It was called
so good.
Caribbean Temptation. So
Hmm.
good,
So
so good.
delicious. Um,
And there were several you got to try, or
oh yeah, you could try.
Yeah, they had
Oh,
like the full list that you could choose from. And I think the first day we purposely like would choose a different one each order just to try them. But for whatever reason, I didn't try that one in particular until the second day, and I was hooked. I was like, "Oh, everybody
yeah.
try it!" And everybody tried it, and it was good.
and here's something weird. Why did I have to go all the way to Aruba to finally try an Amstel draft with a lime? That became
Right?
that became my beer of choice.
Right.
Yeah, and
So
you guys drink their local stuff, did you? The Balashi.
Malashi. Yeah.
I didn't try the
Balashi.
Malashi
Bellagio.
was good too.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you did try that.
I didn't. I stuck with the Amstel and the lime. I really dug it.
I couldn't get off the Caribbean Temptation.
I'll tell you,
Seriously.
another thing I loved, I mentioned the swimming, but we got to emphasize the fairy tale beauty that we talked about going in. Like as far as the water goes, the beach and the water, fairy tale beautiful, turquoise water. Never in my life have seen a beach like it. Second to none. I loved it.
It
Yeah,
was.
and I love those little hut like tops. Like they'd had these little I don't
Yeah.
know what you
They
would
look like
even
little
call them.
tiki huts.
Yeah.
Little tiki huts. Yeah, it was just very postcardish.
Like a baby picnic area.
It
Yeah,
was.
what I because I used to watch the Caribbean live shows, just because I'm like, I want to go to St. Bart's, I want to go here, I want to go there. And it's just like it just had that vibe of those shows you watch where it had the blue water, it had the tiki hut tops, the rock formations around the beach. It was just, man, sailboats out there like nearby. It was so
Yeah.
cool.
I loved being able to step out into our back patio and sit and have a cigarette and look and just be feet from the ocean. It
Yeah.
just,
Same for me, except for like the cigarette thing.
Yeah.
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 Um,
Exactly.
here's something else I didn't expect to like, but really enjoyed. Anytime we sat at the bar patio area by the pool and we'd be eating or drinking, and the iguanas would just like come up to your
Oh
table
yeah.
and we get to feed them scraps. I think,
They tell you not to, but like they're sitting there
Right.
looking at you, going, "Okay, you're going to give me something,
about
right?"
10
Um,
years ago, had I imagined, oh, I would not want to go to a place where you're sitting and trying to eat or drink and there are iguanas at your feet. I really enjoyed it. They were
Yeah.
kind of
it
cute.
was cool. Well, because they weren't really like bothering us. It's not like
No,
they were
Right, right.
climbing on us or anything like that.
And they're like 2 or 3 feet
You
long. I mean,
they were
they
Yeah,
big.
were
they were
supposed to be.
big. They
They
were
were
big.
fed well.
And then we saw a couple of those like pretty like yellow belly birds or whatever they're called with the
Cool.
obviously
Yeah.
with the yellow bellies.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. Something
Yeah.
different.
I really enjoyed that.
I did too. Oh, and I really enjoyed the fact that I won poolside bingo when the
You
whole resort was
did.
Yeah,
full.
man.
So
Yeah.
so Navy told us the next morning when we met up, I guess, to work out, and she goes, "Dad won poolside bingo." I said, "Of course he did."
There was like 40 people playing. I won.
There
Okay.
was a lot.
That's one of those the podcast is writing itself moments that we had. It was
Yep.
like, of course my brother just decides to play poolside bingo like he's 82 and wins.
And I had to go
Complete.
up there and dance for 30 seconds. And I did like a little TikTok dance. And then I won a couple t-shirts and a tank top, I think. Two of them didn't fit, but I gave them to Navy.
I must say he was probably the best answer of the three people who won prizes. So
Easily. Easily.
I gotta give it up. You did good. You did
Easily.
good, man.
Um, how about, let's see, what we didn't love so much or what we do differently?
Atlanta Airport.
Of course. I'm gonna go ahead and be the one to say it. Definitely DV next time.
Yeah.
If
Yes,
if you're
100%.
interested, like, okay, so on the website and the videos I was watching from the hotel itself, from the resort itself, not TikTok people telling me bullshit, but the hotel itself talked about, oh, sorry. Um, sorry, there's a TikTok influencer in our midst we can't talk about right now, but
In our
um
midst.
in our midst. And so uh yeah, so the resort itself, the information I was getting suggested that the Tamarin was the more adult friendly, the
Uh-huh.
DV was the more family friendly. So that is specifically why I chose that side of it. We get
Yeah.
there, and no,
It's the
Tamarin
exact opposite.
Tamarin is like infested with children. Nothing against children, but they were everywhere. Like I can't believe families with like stroller age children were coming to Bermuda for an all-inclusive trip. Like, why would you do that?
Well, and another
Aruba.
thing, when
You
Yeah.
Joe and I
said you said Bermuda.
Sorry.
Aruba, not Bermuda.
Aruba.
Um,
I'm planning our next trip.
Joe, but Joe and I had went up to the DV side when we were at the ocean one day to get, I guess, extra sunscreen, and
Yeah, it was sunscreen.
we walked up towards like they were at the pool area, the DV side, and they're doing like uh, water aerobics with Will Smith, and dudes are doing like karaoke over here, and they're all adults, and I'm like,
Right.
man, are we on the right side?
Yeah, so DV at night was just beautiful. We had a restaurant reservation over there at one of the nights that I loved.
Uh-huh.
That was really great. Beautiful, beautiful beach access on DV. So anyone listening who's thinking about Aruba and you want the more adult atmosphere, DV in the nightlife, DV is where to go. Um, another
Yeah, have you guys ever seen, I'm sorry, have you guys ever seen Couples Retreat?
I have.
I have not.
It felt like the movie Couples Retreat where we were like in whichever one was like the fun island was like Eden West or Eden East, and we were on the other one, Eden West or
Yes,
Eden East, was like
that's
it was
exactly
like
what I was thinking too.
yeah, they learned of the fun one. They're like, wait a minute, we had access to all this. It's kind of what it felt like. I was like, Josh, this is Eden West.
Okay, I'm so as far as, but it wasn't bad. So like
Yeah,
the kids weren't bad and it wasn't anything like that. But I will just say I liked that it was crowded but not busy. Like no, it was
right,
busy
right,
but
right.
not
It was
crowded.
not crowded. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Yeah.
So I think the other thing that I would have probably, I mean, like I said, we went and saw Orionstad. The historic part is worth seeing, but nothing else in Aruba to me was really worth seeing unless you drive to like the natural pool or drive to Palm
Yeah.
Beach.
And that was the one, and I don't mean to cut you off. That's the one thing I wish we would have done. I know we had kind of talked about it. I really would have I would have liked to have gotten an ATV or a Jeep and went to the natural pool because
I agree.
my boss at work mentioned it. So I think that would have been neat.
I do kind of regret that. Um, I'll tell you what, you're not going to go to Aruba and get the TikTok experience. I was led astray. First of all, the ED cards, did we need those? Because we paid
I'm
for them.
I'm the only one that when I had to scan my passport in one spot, they were looking for the ED card, I guess confirmation, and like it had like the red X, like no, no, and they made me go over to the side and show my passport again to somebody, and I'm the only one they had to do that for. All right, I'm the
Yeah,
only
I
one that had to
never
do
had
that
to
on the
do
But
floor.
when they did that, were they just taking a closer look at your passport or did you
Yeah, they never. Oh yeah, yeah. To your point, they never asked for it. They never
see
asked for an ED
bullshit?
card.
TikTok
Yeah,
bullshit. Another
yeah.
TikTok bullshit. The sunscreen.
Oh,
Oh, the reef
That's
safe or whatever.
yeah. Nobody checked our bags. Nobody, I mean, nobody was out scouring the beaches checking everyone's sunscreen. Like they made it sound like it's banned, can't have it.
Right. Right.
Nobody checked to see what
Nobody
kind
check
of
people.
sunscreen.
So when you go to
Yeah,
Aruba, bring whatever you want.
bring
Sunscreen.
whatever the fuck you want.
And I have
Mhm.
words with the people with the ED, sunscreen. I think it
The,
caused me to burn more than the original sunscreen that I had on in the first place.
I was going to say, Navy's never had sun poisoning like that
Dude,
before.
I was
yeah,
medium rare the second day.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
I think there's some truth to that.
the Reef Safe didn't seem to be as effective for your body. I did actually get, I mean, I think we all did pretty well. Navy did get a spot of sun poisoning, but her swelling went down really
Hmm.
quickly.
Hmm.
Um, we all did get some burn, but I think we all walked away with amazing tans, and we didn't spend the whole time miserable.
Right.
And
Right.
especially since we had that special Aruba aloe, that was
Yeah.
legit. I really liked that stuff.
Whatever's in
Yeah.
that stuff works.
Hey, speak for yourself. I didn't get burned.
I mean,
I str I strategically went into the trip with 3 tanning bed visits before I went, so I was already kind of tan.
I didn't get burned. I got a beautiful tan, but I did get burned right at the very top of my forehead.
Yeah, 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 you did. You kind of had like a little layer of
Yeah,
pink towards the
I,
top of that.
I did. Um, I definitely, I think that was all hype. So I don't know. I wouldn't put too much stock in TikTok people telling you about Aruba.
Yeah, I saw some of those Aruba TikToks, and they're definitely not what I expected. But
I even saw people on the beach strategically choosing like one spot, and you've got all these people in the water, but and they've got somebody, their friend is filming for them, and they're like, get just my back of me sitting in the water, and it looks like they're alone, and I'm like, you are bullshitting the world because you're surrounded by people, and I could walk by and give you bunny ears, but it looks like
right,
he's on a secluded beach in Aruba.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
happen.
That's not the case. Yeah, there's a bunch of
Not
people on the
gonna
beach.
happen.
Yeah,
How
and
about,
oh, go ahead.
oh no, you,
I was just gonna say on the ED card thing, like the only thing, our luck, if we didn't get those, we would have absolutely had to show something.
true,
Sure, right, right.
true. I'm not going to
So,
advise anybody not to do it, but it was $80 for the two of us and didn't need it.
right, right, right.
I'll tell you what, I've never seen so much ass in my life.
Oh,
Yeah, there were the swimsuits and stuff were different there for sure.
Bottoms, full bottom coverage was totally optional.
Hmm.
I've never seen so many thongs.
you told me to keep mine here at the house, so that's what I did. So
Yeah, there were a lot of European dudes there wearing the little boxer brief looking swim trunks and stuff, even shorter than those.
But the women, like I saw ass everywhere, everywhere. And Navy looked at me at one point and she's like, I've never seen so many ass cheeks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if I heard her say that. I don't know if I've ever heard ladies
Josh,
check before.
well, she may have said, but I don't know. Josh pretended not to notice.
It's
Um,
booty, it's not ass, honey.
you know how you could tell, and that's what I said on the beach. I said, "Hey, you know how you can tell when someone's European or not?" I said, "They're not fat." So all the fat people were from America,
That's there's some truth to that.
and
That's
all the Europeans were thin
thongy.
and and thong worthy.
Phone worthy.
Um, I think the timing. I think we timed it just right.
Yes.
Early March, as far as weather, I
Yeah,
think that was perfect. I don't know if I'd want to go in mid-August. If you're
yeah.
looking for 80 to 90 or 80 to 85, beautiful, not humid.
But it was pretty windy. I mean, it was breezy. It was very
Oh,
breezy.
very
Breezy.
windy.
Yeah.
Man,
But I
look,
think that offset the heat too. I
it
think it
did.
made the heat not so unbearable.
Yeah, but it wasn't a sticky kind of heat. And
Right.
so the one thing TikTok got right was the wind, and I'm glad I brought my sun hat. That had a
Yeah.
tie on it that it stayed
Yeah.
on. Um, definitely do this. We didn't know this going in. The all-inclusive restaurants that are part of the resort, you need to make reservations to eat there. And so by the time you're there, it's almost too late. I
Yeah.
basically you're going to want to check in and then make a reservation for every night.
Yeah, it's a good call because we just assumed since it's all included in the same little spot
That you were
that we
going to
would
get a
just have,
spot, and
yeah,
that's
we
not
would just
the
have
case.
full access anytime we wanted. Because
Yeah. And we
we
could
just
for the
assume,
buffet, but not for the restaurants. And we
yeah,
managed to get in where we wanted. It worked out, but it was booked every night.
we had
So
to stress about it a little bit more than we thought we would,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
basically. Yeah.
Um, I think I think that the downtown life is a little bit overhyped. I didn't think there was much to it. So I wouldn't tell anyone to expect, you know, a lot of nightlife there. It was just basically
Yeah.
like one big area and you walk two more blocks and you're in like a third world kind of.
Well,
Well,
of
yeah,
course. Well, to be fair, we didn't go to the Palm Beach area, right? I don't think. I don't
No,
think
no,
there was. So I think there might be some there. I've
yeah.
seen
And
instances of that, but
the cab driver kind of indicated that that was a good
yeah.
place to go.
But definitely the place we went to that had the flamingo statue and
yeah,
the Parliament building and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it was cool and historical looking, and you could take a couple neat pictures, and there were some restaurants there and nightlife and such. Um, but there was like hardly anybody there. It felt like it felt like there was like 20 people there in that whole area.
yeah. They had
It's
like one
pretty
of the
cool.
biggest arcades I think from
Yeah, it was a huge arcade.
that
Yeah, yeah.
arcade was like unbelievable.
Well,
Right
they had
corner
that
down here in New
casino
Albany.
too.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
they had a casino.
Um, but yeah, you really didn't really get to see inside the casino as much as you did like the arcade. But
Right.
that arcade
And
was probably
well,
one of the
you
biggest.
say so. I think the view was nicer than like the actual nightlife. There wasn't much
Yes,
happening, but the view was really pretty. It was
Oh, it
fun to
yes.
look at.
very beautiful.
Yeah, because they had the
Yeah.
boats there docked. That was really nice. And when the sun would go down,
And
it
I
was
have to
pretty.
say, given all of what we're saying about the nightlife and the activity, we went for R&R. That's exactly what we got.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
would say in your mid 40s, I would say 40s to 60s, Aruba's the place to go. You don't have to leave the resort if you don't want to. You don't have to. We didn't do anything and I was still exhausted. At
yeah,
the end of every
Yeah,
night, I was exhausted.
yeah. If you're in your mid 40s or 50s, or if you have Navy's disposition, it's the perfect place to go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, right.
You didn't feel
Yeah.
pressure to like
No.
do,
Mm-mm.
do, do. It was there,
Right.
rest, relaxation. That's what we got. And I really needed it.
Yeah.
So
Both did.
I got what I wanted out of that part of it. And
Yes.
would you guys say the cost is worth it? I
I
think it
would.
was.
I think it was just because, like I said, we could use both, and we did, We went to the Red Parrot and DV and stuff like that. I thought it was worth it for sure,
And
for sure.
to be able to drink alcoholic drinks all day long, that would really add up cost wise.
Oh
So
yeah,
I think you're
100%.
getting,
And the food,
yeah,
Yeah, look in the
the
additional.
restaurants and just at the bar area, like the little club sandwiches stuff. I mean, if you add all that up, it was probably we probably got our money's worth.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Uh, I think, yeah, I was going to say at this age, if you're seeking relaxation, you're definitely going to want to look into the Caribbean. I highly recommend. I would definitely go back, but Josh said, we've got to make a return visit. And I would say, Josh, I agree. I would go back to Aruba in a heartbeat.
Hmm.
However, because we are on this travel streak, there are other tropical places I'd want to see before I went back.
I can't
yeah,
disagree with this.
agreed. I feel
But
like we need to knock. Yeah, go ahead,
go
Joe.
ahead, Joe.
No, no, you
I
first. You
just kind of
first.
felt like we've been on a run here where I want to go back already after we've seen the places that we've seen. Yet
Right.
I'm agreeing with Bet too because there's other places that I mean, what's next, babe? Bermuda? You said Bermuda.
I don't know. That was an accident, but maybe it was a Freudian slip.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be thinking about it. Um,
Well, because I think the last few trips that us three have taken together, every time we leave, like Scotland, Pacific Northwest, we're like, I want to go back. So
yeah,
I feel like we do that with every trip, which is great. I mean, it means we had fun and it
it
was a
means
good
we had
experience.
fun.
Yeah, but
Sure.
I think we do have a core list of places that we've talked about that we need to knock out first. And
Sure.
then
Absolutely.
let's go
Go
back.
back. Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my brother on a Viking cruise ship.
Hmm.
Exploring the
She did
world. Listen to Josh.
she
Every
did
time that
sit on
commercial
that.
comes on, listen to Josh.
Spend more time getting there and more time less time getting there and more time being there.
Now do the end. Explore.
Exploring the world
Yeah,
in comfort.
he makes fun of it,
Yeah,
but
impressive.
little does he know, our asses are going to be on there. 2027, baby, Christmas season.
It's
It's
coming up
on
all
like
year.
Donkey Kong and Bhutan.
All right. So, um, because we did this via Zoom, we usually do a vacation play by play. We didn't do it that way this time, but I hope we were able to convey the spirit and I don't know, the expectation versus reality of the trip. Anybody thinking about going, I hope you got some good information out of what you heard today. Again, welcome Dominican Republic and welcome to the party. But before we sign off, we didn't just lose Josh's dad, we lost another of Josh's heroes, Chuck Norris, a Gen X legend. And Josh has always loved the Chuck Norris jokes. And I thought
It
we'd
has.
spend the last couple of minutes before we run out of time. I wanted Josh to share some of his best Chuck Norris jokes that he
I
loves.
can't wait for this. They're classic.
They are so
Well,
funny.
there's so many, and
Yeah.
there's so many that I don't. I mean,
You were supposed to have these
yeah,
prepared.
and I did not. Forgive
Oh
me.
my Lord.
Just give me a second. Yeah, I just got a few here. Daggone it.
Oh, hit. Okay. Okay.
Walk him through it. Walk him through it.
Here we
You know,
go.
my first and favorite of all time is Jesus walked on water, Chuck Norris swam through land. That's it's like my ultimate favorite. That'll
I've
never.
actually never heard that one. I've
Hey,
heard almost all of them.
hey,
I've never
did you
heard
know
that one.
Chuck Norris can gargle peanut butter?
No.
He can. He could. God rest your soul. Uh,
He can.
Chuck Norris can kill two
He
stones with
could.
one bird.
I've
Um,
heard that one. I've heard that one.
yeah. Chuck Norris's blood type is AK-47. Another favorite. Chuck Norris can do a wheelie on a unicycle. Wait a minute. Chuck Norris can clap with one hand.
I've got one, but I don't want to steal your thunder.
No, keep going.
Oh,
Help me
yeah.
out, Joe. I got several here I got to go through.
Okay. When the boogeyman goes to sleep every night, he checks his closet for Chuck Norris.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's exactly
That was
right.
always one of my favorites.
Chuck Norris can squeeze orange juice from a banana.
What's it?
Sorry, Chuck Norris can squeeze orange juice from a banana. Oh
He's
my
just that good.
God. Hold on. There's
Chuck Norris can win a race by standing still.
he can. Chuck Norris once won a staring contest with his own reflection.
Nice.
Did you know the son wears a hat for Chuck Norris
No.
to keep him from, you know,
I get it. I get it.
God, so many more. But you know,
What's the one about the giraffe? The giraffe.
the only reasons why giraffes exist is because Chuck Norris uppercutted a horse.
I have never heard that one. That's a good one. That might be my second favorite, aside from the boogeyman one. That's a good one.
All right. Well,
R.I.P. Chuck. Gonna miss you,
rest
buddy.
in peace, Chuck Norris. Rest in peace.
Chuck Norris. Rest in peace,
Rest in
Josh's dad.
Josh's dad, Robert.
Yeah.
He's gonna be missed.
I miss you, Bobby Ray. Love you, old man.
And cheers to Aruba. It was a wonderful time. I'm glad we went. And
Yes, agreed.
yeah, and I've enjoyed talking about it and reliving that wonderful, relaxing week. I'm
Yeah,
ready.
Let's plan our next group trip.
I was gonna say, let's get ready for the next trip. Let's start planning.
Bring it on.
Everybody, we'd like your feedback. Tell us where to go, and don't say hell.
That's exactly where they would want to tell us, though.
Not on Sunday, especially. Not on
Hey,
Sunday.
ask me how much I care. Thank you so much for listening to another piece of the Gen X experience. We're saving sun, sand, and the reality of bucket list traveling at this stage of life has now been immortalized in the annals of history. If you like what you heard, subscribe to the Best of Gen X wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. Josh, we thank you.
Thank you.
Joe, always a pleasure.
Duh.